Welcome everyone to a brand new video. Thank you so much for your time watching my video. Today's video is on the conflict of Israel and Palestine. I'm not an expert on the subject, but I do have some understanding on it. To say that if you're not a subscriber to this channel, please go ahead, do it right now. Click on the subscribe button and choose the option all. That way you will be notified when I create a new video and it's uploaded. Thank you for doing that. Okay, I have to activate right there. Here I'm showing you 1946 Palestine. Notice the white area? Those are the territories that were given to the Jewish population, right? Strategical. You can say, well, that's great, right? Because everybody needs water to progress, to live. You see the white areas right there, right? Now, 1947, how quickly the map changed. Again, Palestine is the green area. And they're being surrounded, not giving them space to run anywhere. We have 1967. Look how much smaller it is. And 2005 and 2020, spots here and spots here. Much smaller than it is now. Do you really think that's what God wants? Palestine is that they are a peaceful, very religious nation. The problem here is, you see that mosque? That mosque is the reason that the conflict exploded, rising to a level that had not been seen since 2014. It's very important to three different cultures: the Arab, the Muslim, and the Christians. When the Israelites play to be the victim, it's very comical and two-faced. Because how can you expect people from around the world not to be upset at you when your actions and affect them in a personal way? Because religion is very personal. It's important. It's like someone trying to touch your eyes. That's how important it is, religion. So when they play the victim, to me, it's like you're playing with something so important for the majority of people, and you don't want no one saying anything. And it's the same situation what happened here on May 10th, 11th, 12th. Organizations around the world are keeping it quiet. They don't want people to know the truth, and that's why they try to make it so complicated. And the point where it's hard to understand, and people say, well, it's not my problem. Well, I'm showing you that yes, it is your problem. How religion is so divided, right? There's so many different religions, right? Christians, Catholics, Roman Catholics, Apostolics. But religion is not meant to be complicated, right? Because you see how there's so many religions, and at the same time, we're all celebrating the same, just in slightly different ways. But okay, but representatives of these different religions, in a way, they're not being true to their followers. Because if they were true, they would try to explain what's happening in Israel, in Palestine, in a way that is fair. Israelites are not coming out the victims, because they're not victims. They're not victims at all. If anything, they are the ones that keep provoking. The situation here is Sheikh Jarrah, which is they wanted to vacate 20 different families from that area. And let me tell you, 20 different families To you, it may not sound like such a big deal. It's prominent Arab or Palestinian. The situation here is that Israel believes that because of the conquer or colonize Jerusalem during the War of 6 Days, they should be allowed to vacate everyone, kick all the Arabs out of Jerusalem, because that they want to make Jerusalem their capital city. With the help of Donald Trump, they did, according to them. But the rest of the world doesn't agree with that. We have this problem again, where Israel is upsetting the rest of the world. And somehow, there are the victims. They're kicking people out of their homes. They're burning those homes. A lot of the time, they take lives of those families. And then, when the Palestinians try to defend themselves or attack them, that's when, oh my goodness, why are people being so hard to us? Why do people hate us? And this temple that I'm showing you here, it's a temple by the name of... Okay, before I talk about this temple, in 1972, Israel, the government of Israel filed suit to force eviction everyone living in Jerusalem. And the judgment by Israel's own tribunals came a few months ago, in 1972, and now we are 2021, right? That's about 50 years for this judgment to happen. And they said, yes, you can evict everybody. And that's what I was telling you about, right? If someone, you invite someone to your house, and then that person you invite, you give a roof to, and comfort, somehow files suit that you, the one who invite them into the house, should be evicted. The military had taken over this mosque that you're seeing there. And Hamas, which is not a terrorist organization, on defense of the Palestinians, had given the Israeli government until May 10th for them to leave the mosque, and allowed Palestinian, Muslims, Christians to enter the mosque and pray. Supposed to use the temple for praying, but no. The government of Israel never replied, never asked its militants to leave, to allow people to enter and pray. This temple, the Muslims know it as Haram al-Sharif, and I'm sorry that I'm pronouncing it incorrect. And like I said, this temple, it means a lot to the Christians, to the Muslims, and to the Arabs, because the government of Israel never answered. Then Hamas, the military group, intervened, and they ended up launching about 1,000 rockets. I told you earlier, the military forces of Israel received $3.8 billion US dollars, and the majority of that money is used for military purposes. So the Israel forces use missiles, multiple missiles, and they attack. Of course, missiles and rockets it's analog technology, digital technology.